Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Redmen TV and your latest episode of Oppo Preview. My name is Dan Club. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by former West Ham striker and, let's be honest, legend Carlton Cole. Carlton, I do, mate. You good?
Thank you very much. Great intro. Thank you. I'm very good. How's yourself?
Yeah, mate, I'm all good, thanks. Yeah, I'm all good. Looking
Good,
forward to
good.
this one. Looking forward to the game as well, actually. Liverpool taking on West Ham at Anfield, Carabao Cup, of course. Let's go into it from a West Ham point of view, though. Start of the season, after what was a pretty good summer, really, quite an impressive summer in terms of recruitment. A lot of people saying that West Ham had won the transfer window, whatever that means. But it's fair to say the results haven't quite gone as planned so far this campaign. What's the mood in the West Ham fan base like?
Well, look, it's like anyway. It's a little bit. Do you know what? I always describe this scenario with having so many a turnover of 21 players out in and out. Nine players that's come in. Obviously, you've got to look at it as in it's a transitional period. Getting used to got a new manager, new backroom staff, and it's not going to just settle straight away. The manager understands that it's a work in progress. I think the players understand that. The fans need to understand it, although some sections of the fans get very restless, and it's back to okay, why have we got rid of David Moyes? And why have we? Because when you're not winning games, all the questions start happening, and it's not. Sometimes it's a bit unjust, but everyone has to understand where we're at as a team. We're in a transitional point. The players need to get settled in. It's not just going to go hunky-dory. I remember, actually, your neighbours, Everton, they had a big haul of players that came in, a big turnover of players that were just going in and out. And I remember it was about 9 or 10 players, and they almost got relegated that year. It was really hard for them to adjust. But what happens is that once hopefully the dust settles, and everybody knows their place in the squad and the manager's found his first 11, you'd like to think with a manager of that ilk and experience that he will get those boys playing eventually. And with those type of players he's got, I reckon eventually there's going to be someone's going to get the back end of it, and there's going to be a big drumming soon.
Yeah, hopefully not tomorrow night. You mentioned Lopetegui there and his calibre, his ilk, his pedigree, if you like, and it is there for all to see. You know, he's had a very successful managerial career to date, it's fair to say. Obviously, West Ham have gone a certain way. A lot of the West Ham fan base wanted David Moyes to move on, thankful for the job he'd done, of course, but thought it was time, felt like it was the right moment to go in a different direction. Obviously, with Tim Steidten at the club as sporting director, he clearly felt likewise as well. Have you noticed, I know again it's early days, so forgive me, but have you noticed a shift in style of play at West Ham at all? Like, obviously, a lot of the conversation around Moyes was centred around the fact that they weren't playing a particular brand of football. Has Lopetegui already started to implement a new way of playing, at least?
Well, you can see it's quite clearly a different style of play, where David Moyes would attack the game in a more defensive fashion, defense first before attack. But Lopetegui obviously wants to be, you can see he's got a high line, especially in the last game against, God, I've got a brain
Chelsea.
fog right now, but
Your other
Chelsea,
former club,
I
Chelsea.
I should know that. I was in Chicago for that game, so
So good.
no, but obviously you saw the defense was being overrun. Jackson had a great game. He was running in behind, and the defense was quite high up. That is a totally different way to what we are used to as fans and as players are used to as well. And they're looking at that thinking, do you know what? We definitely need to know how to defend against that. On the flip side, if you're not scoring goals and you are pressing high up, it does look really bad. So it's a double whammy. Now, and the boys that are going forward, if they're not scoring, then it just makes the defence look bad because they're so high up. And so there's a lot of settling to do, a lot of buying into the new way of play. And the style of play is totally different to what a David Moyes team would set out to look like. So this is as I said, it's work in progress. Going to have to give it time. especially with the new manager. And the manager's not going to bend for no one. He's not going to think that, do you know what, I might have to go back to a David Moyes style, because that's not his style. He doesn't believe in that type of football. Tim Steidem has brought him in to suit the players that he's brought in as well. So it's just, everyone's just going to have to wait and see how it goes. And I think it will come good soon, because the guy's a great manager.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and as you say, the quality of players there, we'll touch on them in a bit more detail in a moment, but there is definitely a certain type and a certain, like I say, an attacking element towards that 100%. And yeah, there's definitely a recipe for disaster for somebody coming down the line, hopefully not us. West Ham beat Bournemouth to reach this stage. I wanted to ask you, Carlton, how important is the cup, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here? Because obviously recent silverware in West Ham's history, after a long, long wait, it's fair to say. The Premier League campaign hasn't quite got up and running yet. So do you think Lopetegui will put many eggs in this particular basket, or do you think he'll look at it and go, listen, I could name my strongest team and still get beaten at Anfield? How do you think he approaches it?
I think he's going to name a strong team. Definitely. I think he's still trying to find out about his players. We're going to be taking every cup that we're in very seriously. Why wouldn't you? Especially a team like West Ham. We're not a Liverpool that's got bundles of wealth of talent, wealth of trophies. As you said, we've won our first trophy 2 years ago, and that you can see what that done to the fan base. It was amazing, and we appreciate these kind of silverware. So for a team like us, West Ham, we know where we're at in life. We go for these trophies, and we are expecting a good trophy run. Lopetegui wants to get some rhythm going in his team, so whoever plays might find themselves playing on the weekend too. So the more games, the better, just to get his feet under the table and adjust to his style of play.
No, absolutely. I think you're right on that. I think, like I say, a win's a win, really, no matter what competition it comes in, isn't it? And again, beating Liverpool at Anfield will be one hell of a scalp. So yeah, I think you have to.
Listen, for me, I've never beaten Liverpool. I've never been in a team that have beaten Liverpool. Anfield is like it's like a graveyard for me. Like, I go there, I think I've got a couple of draws there, but I've never won. So for me, any kind of win out at Anfield is a plus. And if the boys can do it, and look, we only beat you guys at Anfield, I don't know, about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I've never beaten you and we've not beaten you since. So it just shows you that it is a bad place for West Ham to go to and get results.
Well, I do a lot of these shows, obviously, before games, usually with former players of the club that were playing. I always check their record against Liverpool just to see, and I didn't really want to bring yours up, Carlton, if I'm being honest, included in your Chelsea day. I think you played us 17 times. You've said it now, so I can say it. You played us 17 times and you won 3. And a couple of them wins were at West Ham, but they were at Upton Park, it might have been, or London Stadium, whichever. And you scored in a couple of them games as well. So, decent record. But yeah, the Anfield record, not quite. Yeah, not quite so much. On the injury front, no, not great. We'll move on.